third time this season the Rangers have reached the 8-goal mark. That hasn't happened in 28 years for this franchise. Part of an 8-4 win for the Rangers over the Penguins. Welcome into our Delta MSG studios. John Giannone alongside Steve Valiquette. 8 different Rangers scored a goal tonight. That hasn't happened in 11 years. It's amazing some of the superlatives you can toss out there on a night where the Rangers made Pittsburgh for the second straight night victimized like crazy in goal.
It's unbelievable. So the people that paid the price in this game were the goalies and the coaches, right? And we said it was going to be a rush game. Both teams are top 5 offensively off the rush, and both teams are in the bottom third defensively off the rush. You get fun hockey. Yeah. It was fun. It was entertaining, again, for everybody but the goalies and the coaches.
And the Rangers were in a rush to take the lead. It only took them 95 seconds, and it came from a guy who this dude told you was going to score the first Ranger goal, claims that he used strategy in coming up with the idea, claims that he used some statistics and analytics. He said Colin Blackwell would score. He did, and he scored off the rush, which was a theme in the first
period. That's right. And think about this. Can you name me another Colin in the league that's better than the Blackwell? You won't find one.
Not right now.
The best Colin in the league. I did that homework today, too. I'll tell you what, though. It's nice to see people get rewarded when they get moved up in the lineup and they're playing with enthusiasm on the defensive side of the puck, and it helps you get in on the offense. You will get the benefit of the broken play when you have details in your game. Watch how the defenseman for Pittsburgh turns. His skates are facing the goalie. That's why the attempted pass is made, and that's why you get the benefit of the broken play. Outstanding heads-up play by Blackwell. Defensively, 5 guys are in the picture. Zibanejad stops, gets a good stick to come back here, so they have the pressure. But again, one rush leads rush the other way. They feed each other. It's back and forth. I feel like the only thing that interrupted this game was penalties and goals. So the Rangers get up the ice here, and Lindgren now is a support, but he's not taking too much attention away, enough for Buchnevich to get in, and then enough room for Zibanejad to follow. But I thought the players did well at supporting each other off the rush when they were looking for offense. Probably have to do a little bit more defensive work in the next game on Thursday because this is going to be wide open hockey. It might not go their way. Buchnevich finished the 3rd rush chance goal, and he was thanking everybody with the pointing, and everybody appreciates that, especially me.
So 3 goals off the rush for the Rangers tonight. That was part of the storyline. Another part, 3 goals on the power play. This was a power play that was 1 for 7 in 2 games in Buffalo against the Sabres, who were obviously lowest in the league in a whole lot of categories, penalty kill among them. Rangers scored only once in 7 opportunities and a whole lot of they need to shoot more, they need to shoot more. Tonight they did, and they scored 3 times.
They had 3 goals really the same way, too, on the power play where it was in offensive zone setup. Now, you want to get in your setup as soon as possible so that you can pass the puck and make the D shift and make everybody feel a little bit uncomfortable and defend. Winning the faceoff really helps. Using your feet off the faceoff really helps because it gives your wingers time to come in and support. And now when you move the puck east to west up top, everybody can get into their setup, you can get into positioning, and you can see how Pittsburgh now folds. They've got 4 at one point below the dot. That opens up the seam up top. Panarin's looking for it. He has a partial screen with Kreider here in front. And the goalies for Pittsburgh play their screens very low, John. They get low in the crouch, and they don't see very well. When you watch Shesterkin, he's looking high and over. Same idea here, though. Zibanejad using his feet again off the rush. Brings everybody in for help. They have the time to get the puck back to the point. Now, this one moves up top twice. And again, I think the main focus here is to give Kreider time to get into position in front of the net. That movement up top lets him get into his spot. The goalie's in the crouch again because he's arriving down and low off of a pass. It's hard for him to track. Strome finishes that play. And now Kakko, he does the same thing. He knows the shot from Trouba's on its way right away. He has to get net front. There's a bounce here off Letang. Kakko gets a nice bounce off of his stick. It's a lucky goal, but I also look to the details that are really important on any power play. You can ask any coach when they talk about details in their game. That was a really good illustration on the Kakko goal. Details become habits. Habits become outcomes. When you score 3 goals in the power play with really good detail off the face-off, positioning, setup, up top, moving it east to west, and then getting it down to the net, players buy in because it works. You got 3 goals that way.
And Panarin scored 2 was part of 2 power play goals in the first period alone. He had a goal and 2 assists, 3 points in the first period alone. He now has 40 points in 27 games for the Rangers this season. Wow. Remarkable turnaround since he came back from his extended leave. If he was the offensive star of the first period, I think his co-star, and willingly he would admit, was Igor Shesterkin. In a first period where the Rangers finished it leading 4-1, the Penguins had 18 shots on goal among 30 shot attempts, and Shesterkin needed to be there.
This is that game is a goalie's nightmare, okay? The expected goals is going to be very high for both teams. High danger chances, traded on the power play, traded off the rush. He was sharp early on, getting his positioning. I think he had the sense that he had to keep this game close through the first half of the game and just give his team a chance to score and finish on their opportunities. The goalies in Pittsburgh weren't nearly as strong as Shesterkin, and if Shesterkin was playing in their net, this outcome could have been the other way in Pittsburgh's favor. I thought he was Velcro again in front, looking over the screen and then getting low off the hip when he was blocked out. He makes this play to let us all know and remind us that he is going to score a goal at some point soon. And we'll just wait for, the rest of his game to develop as it has, and he's been playing consistently. Look, forget about the goals against, because that could easily have been 6 and 7. I still think he has an outstanding performance just to soften the load a little bit for everybody and get everybody through a really difficult night.
And he got to watch a night where 11 different Rangers had at least 1 point.